Bless up, Gameyaaad family from yard and abroad. Hope you are doing well out there. And thank you so much for joining us here again for another video. Now, this video basically we will be looking back on the third T20 match between Pakistan and the West Indies. But before I get into the details of that match, I just want to provide an update as it relates to the test series between India and England. And India would have won the match this morning. I think on day 5 England needed 35 runs to win, while India needed 4 wickets to win, and India would have put in a stellar performance. It was a thriller, to be honest with you, and that would have been led by their pacer Mohammad Siraj. In fact, he was the man of the match with 4 for 86 in the first innings and 5 for 104 in the second innings. And India would have drawn the series 2-2 apiece. And I think it was a really good series, to be honest with you. In the match, India would have batted first, made 224. England in reply would have made 247, and India batting a second time, they would have made 396 runs, and England would have all out for 367 in the second innings. And we would have seen 3 magnificent centuries in this match. Yashasvi Jaiswal would have made a century in the second innings, and from England's perspective, it would have been Joe Root and Harry Brook. So Harry Brook would have shared the player of the series with Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill would have amassed 754 runs in this series, and Harry Brook would have amassed 481 runs. It was Shubman Gill's first series as a captain, and I think he performed reasonably well. I think he was exceptional with the bat. And I think they really fought in this series, and as I said before, it was a really good series to watch. Now let us move on to the West Indies against Pakistan, and Pakistan would have won the toss, similar to what they would have done in the second match. They would have batted first, and they would have piled up 189 runs. And I think the pitch was better to bat, and the ball was coming on to the bat, better than the other 2 games. And I think West Indies would have found it difficult to really penetrate the top order of Pakistan early on in the game. I think, to be honest with you, Farhan and Saheem Ayub, they batted really well. Both of them would have gotten half centuries, and I think they would have set up the innings, to help Pakistan to 189. And I think 189 on that pitch would have been, out of, reach for the West Indies to from the get-go. But I think West Indies, they fought really well, especially with the bat. But I think that last over that Shamar Joseph would have bowled, the Pakistani got 19 runs from that over, and I know that over would have been very critical for us, and we would have lost the game by 13 runs. So you see how critical that 19 runs would have been for us. And to be honest with you, though, I think Pakistan, they really read the conditions well, and they batted really well. I think they had that, and the fact that we could not get any wickets, so they had the wicket in hand, so they could have pushed on the total to the back end of the innings, which they did. And I think, as I said, 189 would always be very difficult on that pitch. But I think our bowlers, especially Shamar Joseph, was very expensive. Economy of over 14 runs, per over. And Romario Shepherd would have been over like 10 runs per over. So our bowlers, some of them were just very expensive. And West Indies, you know, going into bat, I know that it would have been an, you know, really tough task. But I think Athanaze and Joel Andrew, they started really well. I think when the second over was completed, we were at about 33 runs. Right, they started off really well, and especially Joel Andrew started off with that. In that first over, he batted. He scored 3 boundaries in that, you know, over, and I think he got a 3 as well in that over. So they were going on really well, and we were up. We were in touching distance in the game. We were batting. At one point, we were scoring at 18 runs per over, right, and but in the middle phase, that's, you know, that's been our Achilles heel for some time now. In T20s, we tend to, you know, not score very well in the middle overs, and I think part of the, and I think I want to make this point also. I think Alec Athanaze and Joel Andrew, they really put some energy in their innings for us. They were running between the wickets really well. They were hitting the boundaries. They were just putting a lot of pressure, you know, on the Pakistanis. And even Mohamed Nawaz, who would have been bowling very well in the power play, he had to be pulled out of the power play, right? And I think they batted really well at the top. Right, Ali Athanaze would have gotten an half century. He made 60 from 40 deliveries, and I think when Joel Andrew was dismissed, I think we lost some momentum there in the innings, and Sharfian Rutherford came in and, you know, tried to put some, you know, pressure back on the Pakistani. But once we got behind the game, it was very difficult for us to get back in the game, and we started to, you know, to score, you know, below the required run rate, and it was very difficult, you know, to pull, you know, the team, you know, back in front of the game after we would have lost momentum in our batting, mainly because of the spinning, you know, attack from Pakistan. They were relentless with spin, and going into the ODI series, it will not be, you know, different. The spinners will bowl at least 30 to 35 overs, right, in that series. So West Indies will need to find a way to negate, you know, the spin attack of Pakistan. And it just showed, I hope that, you know, those guys can you know, be fit for the ODIs, the Hetmeyers and the Brandon Kings, you know, and I think with this, I think when watching the game last night, I was thinking to myself, I really miss Nicholas Puran, because he's one of the players in the West Indies lineup who can, you know, hit, you know, a spinning attack, you know, spinners off the attack, right? And we would have seen him done that in the IPL so many times, right? So I mean. And I mean, one of the talking points coming out of that third match would have been, you know, Ruston Chase being sent when we needed 80 runs from, I think, about 42 deliveries, right? But having listened to Shea Hope in the post-match interview, I think I want to agree with him. He said that, you know, Ruston Chase is one of the better batters of spin. He can negate the spin, you know, attack, and I think we needed that at that point in the innings, and we would have seen, and I mean, a lot of people, you know, try to get on, you know, Ruston Chase to say that he's probably not a good T20 cricketer, but I do not subscribe to that idea. Look, even on the first game that he would have played against Australia, he made, batting at number 3, I think he made 60 from about 32 deliveries. He was unsung in that match, right? So I don't subscribe to the idea that, you know, I think sometime in the region, I think we watch the game just to, you know, to to find some fault of our players, right? Rather than looking at the game for what it is and the best player to play in that, you know, particular situation. And I think I would agree with Shea Hope at that point, because Ruston Chase is one of our best batter of spin, right? So I think it didn't happen, and that is the reason why, you know, a lot of us are talking about that, you know, pivotal point in the match, because a lot of people would have been calling for Romario Shepherd or even, you know, Jason Ola. Jason Ola would have, you know, come out and he failed, right? Romario Shepherd did not get going either, right? So, I mean, as I said from up front, 189 will always be very difficult for us to get, you know, on that, you know, surface. But what I can say though, I think we would have seen the boys, you know, they would have fought well in this series, and we just miss it by a margin. And these are some of the things that, you know, Darren Sammy should be looking on, and Shea Hope. There are some really fine margin in cricket, and we have been losing these critical points in the game. We look on Australia series, it's some critical little seemingly minute, you know, decision that need to be made, and we miss it, and we come up on the losing side. We look on the T20s against Australia, it was the same thing, some fine margin, right? In this Pakistan series, again, some fine margin. So we have to be better in those key and critical moments of the game. Look on India, right? India won the match today, you know, because of that relentless, you know, that never say die mentality. Right, I think when they got Harry Brook yesterday, I said to myself, Harry Brook would have opened this match up to India, and I think I was proven right. Right, these are critical points. When Harry Brook gave away his wicket yesterday because he did not get a good ball he was trying to attack the bowlers, trying to finish the game, and when he got out yesterday, I said to myself, that was a key moment of the game, and it may come back to haunt, you know, England, and it did, right? And after Harry Brook would have gotten out, because at that point India, the shoulders would have dropped, the head would have, you know, bowed down. They were flat in the field. But when they got the wicket of Harry Brook yesterday, the crowd got behind them, and you see another different Siraj, you know, bowling. And Siraj would not have given up that ball. You know, he was going to bowl himself into the ground. And these are the type of, you know, mindset that we want West Indies players to have, that never say die mentality. And in these key moments of the match, you have to come up big. And that's where we have been, you know, found wanting in most of these games. Our decision in key, you know, moments of the match. But I really want to say thanks to the boys. We would have gotten a win, and I really happy for that win. And we are going into the ODI series now, and best of luck to the boys, and stay tuned to Gameyaaad TV. Please remember to hit that subscribe button, turn on that post notification bell so that you can be notified whenever content would have been uploaded to the channel, right? If you would have learned something from the video, please share the link with your friends and families, and go down in the comment section, share your opinions and, you know, your views on the game and the series, and I will definitely respond to those, and give the video a like, you know, if you would have learned something from this video. Thanks a lot for joining us, and we will see you in the next video.